This is Assassin's Creed 2. We're here on the Nintendo Switch 2. This is part of the Ezio Collection. Be sure to like the videos, subscribing is great as well. So this is what really got the Assassin's Creed franchise rolling. I mean, the first game, pretty great, but Ezio really did deliver a compelling and exciting adventure for us to go on across a number of the Assassin's Creed games. Matter of fact, nowadays, you just get one-offs with all of the characters, maybe the odd, like they show up again, but this really was kind of a special time just in terms of, like, actually having a character with an arc across multiple games that were coming out relatively close together. And yeah, it just kind of helped make this series as monstrously large as it is today. Which is quite exciting if you were a big fan of Assassin's Creed, just to see, how much it's grown over the years. Yeah, so anyways, we're taking a look at it on the Switch 2 here. Just kind of focusing on Assassin's Creed 2. Maybe we'll take a look at the other entries, because this also includes Revelations, Brotherhood, and some extra content, as to say, some extra little things here or there. There's quite some facial expressions there. Been through a lot, that lady. Been through a lot, I will say. Definitely has seen some things. Yeah. Definitely has seen some things. Anyways, let's get rolling here. So we've got a pretty authentically created environment for you to explore and work through, whether you are running through the streets, running into people, or if you might be, I guess you would say, parkouring across the world. But you didn't see that coming, or hiding into places totally inconspicuously so that people don't see you. That's the magic of Assassin's Creed, is the exploration, the realism of the environment, and the discoveries along the way. But yeah, no, this one's really neat, because you basically, across the games, you get to see the story of this character's life, and I'm actually, like, the collection's a nice little remastering, but I am kind of surprised that they didn't ever, like, they haven't remade this as, like, a thing at this point, or at some point yet. Like, you could, in theory, kind of, like, combine them, if that would make sense. Like, you could remake them and kind of put them together as, like, one kind of massive reimagined game. I think that will be probably a thing someday. But we'll have to wait and see. But for now, you get, like, a pretty large game. You get all of the DLC, all of the content, and it's all here on the Nintendo Switch 2. And it does, oh my god, just jump across there. We drop and we just land on this thing? There we go. I was a little worried there. I was like... So yeah, it's something that's, like, really good for being taken on. Did you jump across to the other side? I wanted to go... The parkour system in these days, it worked, but... yeah, it worked, but it definitely needed more. I did not want you to do that at all. You're killing me. Anyways... so what are we getting here? It's a dynamic 1080p, but with the extra overhead of the Nintendo Switch 2. We actually get a full 1080p here, and it's 30 FPS, which I feel like if they wanted to, they could, in theory, come back and, like, uncap this, and it should be fine. So, like, technically it's something a little bit better than what we had on the 360 when these games were first coming out. I mean, this does have some enhanced features as far as, like, Switch tune things, but, it's very much, look at those majestic 2D images in the backdrop, low resolution trees and stuff. It's very much the classic games, just available for a, well, new audience to play and enjoy what they have to offer, which I think is great. Or, well, they've been around for a while on this platform, so it's, I don't know, it's just something people probably discover all the time, right? And then when it's out on the go, undocked, it's 720p. What's going on in this place of sin? Oh, wow.
No. No, this is it.
Yeah, this is the right place to be. Hello there. Is there any skipping these cinematics? I guess not. But yeah, you get just some light options. You know, it's not really anything in depth. It's basically just a compilation package of the games, just making sure they all kind of run and stuff. And from what I understand, the Switch version 2 seems to be a little bit more cleaned up, as to say, because this bundle of games is pretty infamous on the other platforms for having some crashes here or there. But
Why? Where are you going?
To kill Uberto Alberti.
I understand your desire for vengeance, but the Gonfaloniere is a powerful man. You are not a killer, Ezio.
Spare me the lecture.
he's not a killer yet.
And why are you going to teach me how to kill?
I'm not. I'm going to teach you how to survive. Come.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see this getting remade someday. Right? Can't you? You can just look at it and be like, it still looks okay, it looks nice for what it is, but like, you could definitely go further. Yeah, because this guy just totally blends in with these women. You know, I never thought about that before, but he kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, even though he's got the blend indicator. Like, Ezio, I think you gotta show off, flaunt a little bit more what you got. Hello, ladies. Blend in to become invisible to the guards. If it shall be asked for, it shall be delivered. Do you want me to sit on the bench? I see, it's a test of my skills so that I sleekly move through the environment and don't get caught. From humble beginnings. I know, it's kind of cool to be able to take this on the go, though. Like, it's weird, right? During the 360 era, this was like one of the big games that you would play, you know, on your home console. And then the idea, I guess, over time that this has become something that you could take on like a handheld console is definitely quite fascinating. Can I just blend in with her? Like, wouldn't it be easier if we just walked in sync and, you know, I just kind of blended in with you? I feel like I'd be super obvious being on this bench. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Please don't notice me. I don't want to ever have to do this mission again. That's the problem with doing videos that covering games on multiple platforms. You even have to do like the silly tutorialized things like over and over and over again. Drives you crazy. But no, it handles pretty well on the Switch, this game. It looks nice. It's a classic story. It's quite interesting because you're just like, you know, you're from a decent level of society. You spend your days kind of like roughhousing and, you know, fiddling around. And then everything in your life changes and you devote your self to, I guess, this idea of the creed to some degree, I guess, or there's some twists and turns in how that all works out, but, you know, and it's explored more if you had played the first game, and, you know, the lore expands more as you played the other Assassin's Creed games, you know how it goes.
Let's teach you how to steal. Thief! Thief! Once you've stolen from someone, Ezio, you mustn't linger.
Help! Somebody! I've been robbed. No.
You want me to just steal from the women? It's kind of mean to just steal from the ladies that run the ladies' house here.
Oh no! Guards! Help!
Oh, and I forgot too, the game, as most people forget, the game has a backbone as well that is based on the idea of like Assassin's Creed really is more about you being in a era, you being in a world, you embodying a particular character.
Now that you have
So
learned
there is
the
actually like a
secret of
backbone to
reality,
these original Creed
we
games
can
where it was
find
like a modern time,
What would you have me use?
which I think was futuristic at the time when it first came out, but it was like a modern time.
My father's blade and bracer. How did you get them?
by using the same skills I've just
And there was like,
It's not
you know,
exactly
you
a
kind of
working
learn
condition.
I assume you're familiar with Leonardo da Vinci.
Da Vinci.
But how does a painter factor into this?
He's far more than that. Bring him the pieces. You'll see.
He's just a painter.
Before I go, one last question, if I may.
Of course.
Why have you given your aid so readily to me, a stranger?
Ugh.
I too know betrayal.
We must visit Leonardo da Vinci. So like, yeah, so there is a modern quote unquote background to the events going on, and you kind of see that unravel over the course of the games, and you know, they kind of shove that away at a certain point too, because most people when they're playing Assassin's Creed, they only care about what's going on, you know, now. They don't care about the modern stuff, which is kind of funny because, you know, the modern setting concept was kind of interesting, but they just really didn't, like, your modern character's kind of neat in concept, but they just did nothing with him at all, really. Like, it was just sort of kind of, you'd be doing this, and then you'd be back in this like other world, and it would just be kind of silly because they're just, you know, it didn't really vibe very well, if that made sense. Like, it was a neat kind of thing to follow, and I think the concept of it was good. Just kind of the execution was definitely lacking for sure. Kind of wanted that box, but you know, whatever. Sucks to suck. A great sense of architecture in these games. But yeah, I always thought that was rather funny and stuff, is they like were trying to create this dual story thing, and yeah, they just kind of like let it go. And then like the later games, they've occasionally done some modern stuff, but most of the modern stuff is just like a 2-second thing, and it's just immediately forgotten about. There's nothing like really of intrigue or interest as part of that, so you just kind of like ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist, which is kind of funny. And also a bit of a shame, because you could probably do something really cool with a modern kind of era, but Creed is mostly about, you know, the discovery you go on, the places, the ancient worlds and ancient realms of certain times that you visit. That's usually the appeal of the Creed titles, at least for me, but you know, everybody plays and enjoys them in different ways. I thought there was a synchronization point around here. Maybe more like a desynchronization point when all these guys get to me. Wouldn't even be able, like, fun to like try and catch a guy that was doing stuff like this. Wow, I can't believe these guys actually jumped across the roof to come after me. And there goes all my health. Yeah, that's one part I kind of found really annoying about these early Creeds, though, is just, like, the constant, like, oh, the guards just know exactly where you are, and you have to, like, run around from them and do, like, this stupid, like, loop-de-loop for a bit before they eventually vanish. Kind of annoying. But yeah, other stuff in this, there were some collectibles. I knew many people. Why did you jump out into the opening like that? So there were like collectibles. The feathers. I know a few pals that went and did all the feathers in this game, which were always a pain. Kind of silly. But people, yeah, they went and collected all the feathers because those were all collectibles that you could gather.
Oh, Ezio Auditore. I didn't expect to see you again.
Yeah, kind of crazy. 15th century era.
Welcome back. Now,
Many places to explore, different
hoping you could repair
environments,
something of mine.
lots of verticality. I love the city setting. That's the thing I have issues with is in the modern Creeds is the lack of verticality in city structures.
All right.
You get
let's
these
see.
massive places, but they don't really necessarily feel
Fascinating.
as exciting and city-like to move through because they're sort of so flat and like leveled out.
Construction is rather advanced. I've never seen anything quite like it. I'm afraid there's not much I can do without the original plans. Mi dispiace. Wait.
What are you doing?
The contents of this page are encrypted, but if my theory is correct, based on these sketches, it may very well...
It may very well what?
Please, sit.
Leonardo, eh?
Leonardo. With all the accents and stuff too. They had a lot of fun with this one. It's just a very good Assassin's Creed game.
There, it's finished.
Huh? What's finished?
The blade. I managed to decode that parchment of yours. It showed me exactly what to do. Now all that's left is to remove your ring finger.
Really?
I'm sorry, but this is how it must be done. The blade is designed to ensure the commitment of whoever wields it.
Bene. Do it quickly.
I was only having fun, Ezio. Though the blade once required a sacrifice, it's been modified. You can keep your finger.
Thanks, Leonardo. Having some fun with this.
Incredible.
Yes, it is. Tell me, do you have other pages like this?
I'm
I
sorry.
like how he's just so like, get it over with.
If you ever do happen across another one of these, please bring it to me.
You
The
have
great
my word.
inventor. That was also
Thank you for
another really
fixing
cool thing
this.
about the Creed games was like meeting historical figures.
Open this door! Just a moment. Wait here.
Did you like blend in or disappear a bit?
See, how may I be of service?
I need you to answer some questions.
Certainly.
Bye, Leonardo.
What seems to be the trouble?
A witness claims to have seen you consorting with an enemy of the city.
What?
Me? Consorting? Preposterous.
When was the last time you saw or spoke with Ezio Auditore?
Who?
Non fare il finto tonto. We know you were close with the family. Perhaps this will help to clear your head. Ready to talk? What about now?
That definitely could have been done better. Could you imagine?
We can end.
Could you imagine your buddy out?
Ready to talk?
He just stands there watching you
What about
over and over again. Oh. Oh. I wonder how long this could go on for. Oh no.
what I want?
It was so nice of you to do that, Ezio, after I took, several kicks.
Grazie, Ezio.
That'd be a funny voice line. You could have done that faster.
I've grown accustomed to their abuses.
What of the body?
Bring it inside and put it with the others.
Others?
The city gives them to me for research.
The city gives them to me for research. Yeah, until somebody notices one of their buddies is like in your lab or whatever. Good way to get rid of bodies, though. But when they know this guy was investigating Leonardo and come look for him, then go into the body. You know what? I'm not gonna think about it too much. It's just a fun experience. Some of Leonardo's drawings and such. What a fascinating.
See? Like
Seriously, look, what a fascinating game
Thank
setting
you.
and everything. It's so very well done.
Everything.
anytime. And remember, if you find more of those strange pages, bring them to me. Should they contain new designs, I will upgrade your blade as well.
That's
Of
what I'm
course.
talking about.
Now, I really should be getting back to Paola.
Porgile I miei omaggi.
See, now we can really get into the action.
Fortune finding new suppliers has paid off, and I can't.
Need the synchronization point. Anyways, regardless, it's a great experience. It's a great game. It's a good package of titles. It's nice to have out on the go. Plays good on your Switch too. Very exciting.